You know, we all make mistakes. It just happens. But what's really interesting is how we talk about them, how we investigate what went wrong and piece together the past. It's kind of like being a detective, you know, and every good detective needs the right set of tools. So let's dive into our first case.
Okay, so here's the scene. A classic whodunit. We've got a broken window, and that's it. No witnesses, nobody's fessing up, just this. What do you think happened here? Right now, your guess is as good as mine.
So that's the big question, isn't it? Who broke the window? But to even start answering it, we need more than just looking for clues. We need the right language to talk about those clues. Think of it like this. Our grammar is our detective's toolkit.
All right, first things first, we have to learn how to make an educated guess. I mean, what do you say when you're just spitballing ideas about what happened in the past? Let's check out the tools we use when we're just exploring the possibilities.
Check this out. This is basically a detective's confidence meter, but for grammar. These are our past modals. Must have is way up at the top. That's for when you're about 90% sure. Then you've got may have, might have, and could have for when you're just throwing theories out there. Each one a little less certain than the last.
So let's zoom in on the middle of that scale. May have and might have. These are your best friends at the start of any investigation. Why? Well, they let you float a theory without being totally locked into it. You're saying, hey, this seems possible, but you're also admitting you don't have the hard proof. Yet.
All right, let's get back to our crime scene. With our new tool, we can make our first official hypothesis. Someone may have broken the window. See? It's our first solid guess. We're putting a stake in the ground, saying there's maybe a 50-50 chance. The investigation has officially begun.
And this works for other little mysteries, too. Let's say you walk outside and, hey, where did the vegetables in the garden go? They're just gone. A pretty good guess would be a squirrel or a rabbit might have eaten them. It's a totally reasonable theory. But you're probably less certain, maybe 30%, because you haven't seen any little footprints or anything.
But we can't just guess forever, right? An investigation needs to move forward. We need actual evidence. We've got to connect the dots to find the real story. Now, let's see what happens when a new clue drops and changes the whole game.
And there it is, our first clue. Look, right there on the floor, just under the window. It's a baseball. Now, this isn't just some random object. Oh no, this is what we call a game changer. This piece of evidence is going to turn this whole case on its head.
So when you get strong evidence like this, you've got to upgrade your grammar. You need a more powerful tool, and that's where must have comes in. You pull this one out when you're making a logical conclusion based on facts. You're not just guessing anymore, you're pretty much pointing and saying, this is what happened. You're almost 100% sure.
And just like that, we can crack this case wide open. We see the ball, we know Ali was playing outside, so our statement shifts from someone may have broken it to Ali must have broken the window. Boom! All the evidence points straight to him. Case closed.
But hold on, the story isn't over just because we solved the mystery. Not at all. What comes next is just as important. After you figure out what happened, you get to the aftermath. You know, the reflection, the regret, the whole what-if phase.
This right here, this is the official language of hindsight. We use should have when we're talking about past mistakes. It's that feeling of looking back and just wishing you'd made a different choice. You could call it the grammar of regret.
And you can just hear Ollie saying this, can't you? I should have been more careful. He knows he messed up, and he's feeling that regret. He's playing it back in his head, knowing exactly what he could have done differently.
I mean, think about getting a bad grade on a test. What's the first thing that pops in your head? Ugh, I should have studied more, right? You're pinpointing that one thing you could have done to change the outcome. But yeah, it's too late now.
Now, could have is a tricky one because it does double duty. On one hand, it's for those really slim possibilities, like we saw on our chart. He could have been injured, meaning there was a tiny chance. But on the other hand, it's also for talking about a path you didn't take, an opportunity you passed up. Like, I could have gone to the cinema, but I decided to stay home instead.
And the last tool in our reflection kit is was or were supposed to. This one is all about expectations that fell flat. You use it when there was a plan or you had a responsibility, and for whatever reason, it just didn't happen.
Here's a perfect everyday example. I was supposed to post the letter, but I totally forgot. The plan was there, the expectation was set, but the follow-through just wasn't. It's a really clean way to explain why something that was on the to-do list didn't get done.
Okay, so the investigation is complete. We've gone through the regret phase. Now it's time to get official. It's time to write the report. And for this, you need a different tone, something more formal, more objective. The focus moves away from who did it and onto what happened.
And this is where something called the passive voice comes into play. I know, it sounds super technical, but it's really not. It's basically a simple 3-step recipe. First, you start with the thing that got acted on, the object. Then, you just pop the word been right after your modal verb. That's pretty much it.
Just look at the difference it makes. The active way to say it is, a computer error may have caused the accident. See how it's pointing the finger right at the computer error? But the passive report says, the accident may have been caused by a computer error. The focus totally shifts to the accident itself. It's a really common strategy in official reports to sound more objective and take the focus off of blame.
And there you have it, your complete grammar detective toolkit. You've got tools for making guesses, for drawing conclusions when you have proof, for talking about regrets, for explaining when things don't go as planned, and even for writing up that final official report.
So we did it. We took the case of the broken window and followed it from the very beginning all the way to the end. We saw how picking the right words helps us investigate what happened, reflect on it, and then report it back. So now I'm going to turn it over to you. Think about a mistake you've made. Could be something big, something small, it doesn't matter. Which one of these tools from our kit would you use to tell that story? Would you say you should have done something different? Or maybe that something must have happened a certain way? The language is all yours now. Go solve some mysteries.